Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from Jamie, Baek Yerin, and ONEWE. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including best-selling K-pop artists in 2020, BTS named Time's 2020 Entertainer of the Year, and COVID's continued effect on K-pop. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro! Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 117, and we're recording on Monday, December 14th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. Alright, this is our last regular episode of 2020.
2020.
Wow, it's been crazy. But the plans for the rest of the year, right? So you're getting this episode. It should be dropping on Wednesday, December 16th, this one. So episode 117. And then next Wednesday, on the 23rd, you should be getting the SojuTalk Kpop Awards. We filmed that yesterday. Some crazy things happened. It was bananas. So be on the lookout for that.
You were very unhappy about one of my nominations. I can't believe.
Yeah, and then in 2 weeks, you should be getting. So that is on the 30th. You'll be getting the 2020 K-pop Year in Review, and plus our predictions for 2021. That's always fun. And then following that episode, we're like 3-4 episodes in the future. On January 6th, we're either going to be taking a break or it will be a non-regular episode. We might be doing like a Q&A / a meta episode, something like
special.
that. But no promises there.
If we drop something, we're gonna do it without telling anybody. So follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Spotify. The other verbs, the verbs got stuck. You get the idea.
Yeah, but we are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 117, where we discuss big new releases, choose a spicy song king, and hit you with the music show winners. Boom. All right, big new releases this week. So on December 9th, Wednesday, Jamie released 5 Christmas languages. On December 10th and the 13th, so that is Thursday and Sunday, Baek Yerin has been releasing some music videos, so we're going to be covering 2 of them, the 2 that are out right now. So one is 0415 and the other one is Hate You. And then on Thursday, December 11th, ONEWE released A Book in Memory. But let's start at the top with Jamie's 5 Christmas languages. So she is from Warner Music Korea. She debuted in 2012 with 15 and. We're covering both of the 15 and girls this week.
Yeah.
We are. Wow.
And 2015 as a solo artist. Her last 3 songs were Apollo, 11, Numbers, and Stay Beautiful. 0 music show wins so far. Warren keeps highlighting the text and I almost can't read what's on the screen. Just pointing that out.
Sorry.
All right, 5 Christmas languages, though. This is a Christmas song, right?
It really is.
You know, I don't know. Let's put it this way. I think for like a really specifically Christmas song, the floor is pretty high. And unless you're like Mariah Carey, the ceiling's also not all that high, higher than that. So, that being said, I thought this was pleasant. Thought it was nice. It really showed off her vocal prowess, I would say.
Yes.
She has a great voice. I don't know if this is the best way to put it, but I always say she has a lot of oomph in her voice, a lot of soul. The lower registry is always hitting really hard.
Yes.
And I think that was really obvious in this one. Also, she did some dancing towards the end. I also like that. But what were you guys' initial impressions of 5 Christmas languages?
I also definitely agree that for this song in particular, I don't know if I was just not paying enough attention to her previous releases, but I feel like her mid-range in this song really stood out to me. I feel like I know her for being able to really carry like very strong high notes, and her range is really big. But I feel like here it was very, very relaxed. Like it felt like strong, but not like forcing it. So I don't know. I feel like I really, really like her voice in this song in particular. And I feel like, yes, it's a Christmas song, and I guess it's not meant to be like super revolutionary, mostly for the season, right? Something that fits. But I feel like I kind of like this throwback to like a malt shop pop type of sound.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it really suits her.
Speaking of malts and going back to her voice a little bit, it did feel like a warm mug of hot chocolate. Not like the one with like a lot of whipped cream, mushrooms, and sparkles, and an Oreo on top of it.
No, mushrooms?
Like, marshmallows.
bro. You just said mushrooms, bro. What is that?
Yeah, mala. Hot chocolate, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really relate, me, warm liquids, but continue.
Look, it was very nice, but it wasn't like over the top. Like it was just like the earlier example I was making with the over the top hot chocolate. I was saying this is not it. This was like, ooh, it's like sweet. It's a little bitter. Yeah. There's like a cocoa powder on it, that kind of deal. And I thought that was really nice. It almost felt like maybe it was because of the way she sings. Maybe it was because of the arrangement or the melody itself. But it didn't really feel like K-pop.
No,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
If someone like Dua Lipa sang this, I would have been like, okay.
I felt some Grande vibes going on too.
Yeah,
I was trying not to say Grande.
No, there were Grande vibes, bro. Like the way she's delivering,
yeah.
the way she's delivering the notes were, I thought, quite similar to Grande. I feel like Jamie had a pretty good year in 2020. She was making a lot of good collabs. She was on that Kang Daniel track. She did that one song. I believe it's Jay Park, right? Is on the Apollo event, right?
Yeah.
And she was also on
Good Girl.
Yeah, Good Girl. So she's been putting in work this year. I'm happy for her because that those memes online about her like trashing JYP and like them not giving her content and things to do. It finally feels like she's in a place where she's like happy with what she's doing and the amount of content she's able to output. I've heard like no complaints from her side. Even though that became like a joke in itself, right? Like JYP, give me an album, I'm a singer. It seems like she's not as disgruntled because she's in her like a good place right now. Yeah, that's all you could really wish for in 2020, right? Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else to say about this one? 5 Christmas Languages. I
like the music video a lot too because it was like
I like that too.
A one take type of thing, going through the set. And yeah, like you mentioned, I feel like I don't know. I think she included a little bit more dancing than usual. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it was just like a one-off thing, like something special for the holidays and the music video as well. But I don't know. Everything seemed very, very sparkly, very nice. And it goes along with the song, like adding that sweet touch to it without being too overwhelming. So,
yeah, it
really,
like,
really nice song.
You know what?
Go on.
I did have one thing that was overwhelming though.
Oh.
What?
The sparkles on her eyes. I think it was like
really.
It's like above your eyelids. Like it's eyeliner, but above your eyelids. Why do you? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Like glittery eyeliner, basically.
I don't know. It was weird. Maybe I'm not the makeup professional in the room, obviously, but like
clearly.
Yeah. Right. So what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say it felt like either like a Christmas Hallmark movie a little bit, or like rich girls having a party at someone's mansion house for Christmas. Like those were the two kind of vibes I was getting.
Hallmark.
Overall, though, nice Christmas song. That's all I really have to say, right? Like, yeah. Let's move on to the next one. So her fellow member, who used to also be in 15 Baek Yerin, released. So she has a whole album coming out, right? Well, it came out already.
Yeah.
Do you know what the title of the album was off the top of your head, Warren?
Oh man, it was a long title. Let me look it up real quick.
Tell us about yourself.
Right. Tell us about yourself.
She's been teasing a bunch of music videos. So the only two that are out right now are 0415 and Hate You. But there's also a teaser for the song I'll Be Your Family. So I think that's going to be released sometime in the future. And I think that one's animated.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Baek Yerin, though, she doing some high concept art stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about the first song, 0415. The song... I could get down with the song, right? I thought that was cool. It had a little bit of like a deep house trancey little bit thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah, I was down for that. It felt like you starting to get tipsy. You in like a European lounge at like 2 in the morning. I don't know what a European lounge feels like, but I feel like it would feel like that, right? You know,
it's one of those clubs where like everyone's like just like bouncing a little bit,
looking
cool. Not doing this.
And there's like dudes
chill.
dudes are in like tight like skinny jeans and black sweaters with Rolex, you know, and you're not sure if they're thugs or not, but like they chilling, you know, like low key. That's what that first song kind of felt like. But then the music video, there's like a vampire theme.
Yes.
But then I also felt there were traces of I thought the real message here was about conformity, was what I was getting from the song itself. And there's like people getting bitten, but then at a certain point there's like a head vampire girl, but then one of the subordinates shows her like, bro, I could stop time. I got powers too. Like
Poison?
There's poison. There's just a lot going on, and then all of them, the actors, they're also in the dance sequences too. That kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I don't know really what to think about it. I don't think there are enough brain folds in my head to really completely grasp what Yerin's trying to get at here, but it felt like a movie to me. That's the main thing I was getting.
Oh yeah, it felt like one of those like independent indie art movies that you'll see in those like small theaters with like 30 seats in them. Like
similar to her the album she released last year. They also had kind of cinematic music videos as well.
For 0310.
Yeah.
That was the other song.
It's actually the same director.
That makes complete sense.
Oh.
Makes complete sense.
Nice.
The other part, you don't, Doug. I think you're an intelligent man. You don't have to worry about your brain folds. There's gonna be a couple more sequel music videos apparently that fully tells the story. Which I'm not sure if the animated one is a part of that, but like who knows. But apparently the story's not over.
Yeah. Something that I kind of want to add on to this cinematic vibe was that the vampire theme, right? And the story and like the visuals and the vibe of the music video, right? Not really the song. It reminded me a lot of a Swedish film called Let the Right One In.
Okay.
I'm not sure what year it came out, but it's pretty old. And the vibe that I got was like same thing, talking about vampires, but it's not necessarily like a scary film. It just seems very subdued, and there's something unsettling, but you don't know what exactly it is. And that's kind of what I felt while watching the music video, but the song is the complete opposite. And I thought that was so interesting that they decided to do that. I don't know. I feel like it's really interesting the way she's doing this with this song. Like I would, if I had just heard the song, I would never expect this music video.
What did you feel about the song itself, though, Anita? Are you at a European nightclub too?
No, I definitely felt that because it felt very like deep house. I feel like I've mentioned this a lot, but I really like the sound of like runway type of beat that you would hear like high fashion. And this definitely has that. So I like the song for it. I think it also has a very repetitive vibe, but I don't mind it. Like I loops,
agree,
but it's nice.
It's as if you were in a trance.
See, like this is where I'm like, guys, we don't want to overdo music. We want to find the right balance between fascinating and interesting, but like not too much. You want to find the right amount of stimuli in the song. Like this entire album was like full of great production. This song in particular felt like a big standout in that they had so much room to like add so much more stuff, and they didn't. Think about that, you know?
Yeah.
There's a whole full plate of chocolate chip cookies, and you didn't eat it, you know, because you held yourself back. And now look at yourself. You're having a better time because you didn't, you know, you're not on a sugar high. You know, that's like
what? Wait, what? That's a terrible bro. Cookies? Okay.
Continue. You want to eat a couple of cookies. You don't want to eat the full plate because you're gonna feel like you don't want. Do you want to fill yourself in chocolate chip cookies?
Maybe you do.
Maybe,
sometimes.
But like,
all right. Tie this back to the song.
The song felt like it was finding the right amount of things, and nothing was fighting for each other in terms of like fighting for my attention. And that was really appreciated. And then,
it was minimalistic in a sense, I would say.
Right. Yeah. And then the acoustics was just perfect.
Yes,
like, you know, like
production was on point with this one for sure.
Just so good. Because going back to the nightclub analogy, it really just feels like there's so much space in the music. You know, like it just feels like you're there. I want to, you know, like. That was really dope. That was really nice. I really appreciate that. It was great. That was really amazing.
What do you think of the music video, though?
I was a little confused, but like
it's kind of confusing, right?
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Not gonna lie. But I think I mean I get the general vibe of it. And I also do appreciate that it's making me think.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah, like a lot of people have asked me, like, Warren, you often criticize this and that for like not having depth. What is depth to you? And my usual go-to answer for that is like when it makes you think, when it makes you curious and want to like dig deeper. And that's where I'm like, okay, like this here is like I can rewatch this a couple more times and still have a good time.
All right, let's move on to the second song then, right? Anita, do you have anything else to say? Or no, we got two already, right?
We're good.
All right, so the second song, Hate You. So this is the one that Yerin actually appears in, right? So she was not in the first one at all. This one, I think I prefer the first song, 0415, to Hate You.
Interesting.
Just something about it. I will say, though, that I like this track because Yerin is very unapologetic with who she is as a person in this song. She's showing off the fact that she's gotten all these tattoos over the past couple of years. Honestly, I really like her tattoo style because I think sometimes with tattoos it feels like, oh, conventionally I'm gonna get this type of thing here, right?
I'm gonna get the dragon on my back,
or you know what I mean. I'm gonna get some kind of thing right here or right here, like typical spots. Her tattoos, it's very like artistically placed across her body. A lot of flowers, there's butterflies, there's a lot of cool things going on with hers. That being said, also like the language, right? She curses a lot. I kind of like that. I was like, okay, you cursing, this is cool. You don't hear cursing all that often in K-pop, specifically in Korean artist songs as a whole.
Right.
This song full of expletives. Warren used to be full of expletives back in the first like 20 episodes of our podcast. Now he doesn't. Goody two shoes. Maybe he's getting older. Maybe he's getting more no jam. I don't really know.
To be frank, in real life, I swear a lot more.
Yes, that is bro. Okay, I also curse a lot more when we don't record the pod.
Yeah, we want to be family friendly. I know that Doug's certain family members listen in. I don't want to see a child.
Yeah, but they know I curse. This song obviously a lot more angsty, right? There's a lot more angst coming out. But what did you guys feel about this one?
I find it. Oh, go Warren.
Yeah, if it's okay, I'm gonna go after Doug because I felt like I was on a similar wavelength as Doug a little bit. This was actually my least favorite song on the entire album. So I was kind of surprised this is one of the title tracks. And I was trying to figure out why. I can't really pinpoint why, but one of the things was the way she swears. Feels too cute. Like it doesn't. Maybe it's because I like spend too much time listening to rap music, but like just like I was like, oh, look at her, she said the F word. Oh, look at that. That's the kind of reaction I had a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe it's the rhythm structure of of all that, but like like in that aspect, I felt a little less convinced than the other tracks. But that's not to say I dislike the song. I think it was still pretty good. I still liked it.
I know Anita is in the opposite boat of you, so
yeah, I'm actually surprised because I feel like this song felt more conventional, I guess, to what I would feel like would be a pop title track for her. And I don't know, I think I found the chorus very catchy. And as far as like the cursing, right? I almost felt like, yes, it felt a little not shocked, but a little like double take, like, oh, okay, we're including this in the song. But it felt more casual, like it wasn't meant for wow factor, I don't think. It was meant to just show like, this is honestly how you might feel if you were in this situation based on the lyrics. So I feel like, okay, it makes sense to some extent. So I don't feel like it's out of place in the song coming from her, which I thought was interesting. I also feel like I like how she's connecting these songs, not sound-wise, but through the music video. Because if you watch the end of 0415 and then watch Hate You, it connects with like a package being delivered. And now that since Doug mentioned that I'll Be Your Family is also getting a music video, there's an animation at the end of Hate You, which is probably going to tie into that one. So I think that's cool. I like when there's some type of consistency and some direction between songs and albums. Because I don't know, I think it shows that you're thinking ahead and how things are in the bigger picture. I really like that.
There was also a connection. People figured out some connections between this track and 0310 from the last album.
Jesus.
And,
okay.
And she actually, I was watching an interview and she was like, it wasn't really intended, but it's around the similar group of events, and therefore there's connections there. So
that's interesting.
Take that however you will, you know.
Yeah, I did listen through a lot of the album. I don't remember specific song titles, but overall, her type of albums are good. Like, I don't want to call it background music, but you know what I mean. You just turn it on while you're doing other things, and you just hear her nice vocals for a while. It's great. She is one of the like. Is she coffee shop? I don't really know.
I don't know.
To be frank, if I think about the word K-pop, I'm thinking immediately about idols. And, like the kind of music they do. Here, I would definitely categorize this as indie pop and indie and like.
Okay, yeah. She's so the best way to put it then, what I was trying to get, she's an indie darling in Korea for sure.
Yes,
right?
Popular.
One of the top what you would consider indie artists in Korea, I would say, as far as soloists.
Her producer that worked with her on this album and the previous album is like one of the top pop producers in Korea at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to see that both for Jamie and Yerin that things are working out now for them, because they're both gaining traction in their own right. So overall, cool experience. I do suggest go listen to this album, and I normally don't listen to albums.
It's a great album. If I can say one more thing about the album, every letter I sent you, one thing I didn't quite like about the album was that if I'm not playing it in the background and I want to just focus on the album, it is a little difficult because there is a lot of overlap in terms of like tone and like topic and whatnot in between each songs. So by the end of the entire album, which is quite long, 18 tracks, I was a little exhausted, not gonna lie. Here, it was very refreshing to get different genres and different sounds, all kind of in a similar tone length and in kind of the Baek Yerin style that we're getting right now. So even if you want to listen to it in an active listening session, this is still really good. Like it's very, very active and very dynamic.
So you really prefer Tell Us About Yourself, right?
I like this a lot more than every letter I sent you. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so other releases this week include Junkei's 30 Minutes Might Be Too Long, Yubin's Wave, and Isungi's I Will. So those are the only ones this week.
Yeah. So should you talk about the ONEWE?
Oh, wow. Okay, might be. I don't know what happened there. I apologize. So on December 11th, Thursday, ONEWE, I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. They released a book in memory. So they are from RBW. They debuted in 2017 as Mas, and then 2019 as ONEWE. Last three songs were Parting, End the Spring, and Q featuring Hwasa. 0 music show win so far. So this song was chosen by our SojuTalk patrons, right? They chose this one over Ghost 9's Wall. So this is the first action where the patrons are having a say in what we cover, which is cool. All right, this song, A Book in Memory. This sounded like an OST track to me.
Oh, it has that vibe.
I got like historical drama OST vibes. Like during like some kind of sad scene, and they're like, you know those scenes where like, oh, one of the main characters might die, so they're like flashbacking previous stuff in the seasons. This is the type of song that I feel like that could play at that point.
당신 어떻게 나한테 이럴 수가 있어?
Sure. Yeah. So their main singer, Younghoon, right? So I've known of Mas since they were on the unit back in the day. And then Younghoon was the member who was added, and then he became the main vocalist, right? That boy got some vocals going on. He's really
like his voice
good.
Quality.
The falsetto he can pull out is really strong. I think the main thing I liked about this song is that number one, if you think of the last songs, Q, which was that lo-fi Hwasa song, End of Spring, which was like that festival song. Parting, which was more of a typical rock song. And then this one, which is more of a... Would you call this like a rock ballad type thing?
Sentimental rock.
It's a cliche ballad.
Yeah, so they've done 4 different concepts over the last 4 songs. I think that's pretty cool. But what do you guys think of A Book in Memory?
I feel like for me, and I think I've mentioned this before with ONEWE, I like it more when they lean towards their rock sound, their more rock instrumental sound. and I feel like I hear that in this song. I think after the first chorus, they kind of do more of the joining of the guitars and a little bit more heavy on that. And I kind of wish there was more of that earlier in the song and more often throughout the song. I feel like, I don't know, I guess I kind of still miss that in a band song, regardless if it's a more emotional or typical, more poppy sound. I think that sound quality that a band can bring, it's really cool. So I feel like they can utilize it a little bit more. But I don't know. I think it's still a really good song in the fact that the voice quality of the main singer, like Doug mentioned, is really interesting. I feel like it's something that I like hearing in ballads, but with the rock combination, it's really nice.
I think I might have pronounced his name wrong. Yonghoon is his name. All right, cool. What about you, Warren? You have an interesting face going on here.
Not a fan of ballads. Let's begin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Begin there. That's not to say I don't like all ballads. There has been multiple cases where I thought like there, maybe the melody's good, maybe something is unique, the arrangement, whatever, that makes it really stand out. This wasn't really the case for me. I'm gonna try to word this nicely because the last time we covered Parting, Doug was like, "Man, you are going hard, a little too much." And to put it nicely, I would rather listen to a lot of other tracks than listen to this one because they already achieved similar things. From I know this really contradicts what you guys said, but from vocalists who have a lot more thickness, depth, more oomph.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I don't know. I didn't really see anything particularly special about the song. From the arrangement to the string instrumentation, the guitar solo after the chorus. It felt like they were putting together very common things for a ballad, and then they pushed out a song. So yeah, not. Yeah, I might listen to maybe Buzz, who did this 15 or so years ago. But
okay, I can see the comparison.
It's not really. Yeah.
Oh wow! Way to say a lot in like 15 tries, dude.
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It follows the genre cliches a little too much. Where I'm like, what like.
Okay,
what
then
makes the song special?
Out of the 4 songs that they've had, right? The last 4 songs, which of the 4 directions do you want them to go?
I don't care about which direction they go. I just want them to do well in the direction they go. And so far, I haven't gotten that. It feels like they're going in different directions, but not really well in any of them. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. But
It's fair.
I already covered the other releases, I think, right?
You did?
So
yeah.
There's a Junkei song, a Yubin song, and an Isungi song. You could go look those up. But we're now with Spice King, right? So this is a segment where we're going to basically decide which is the best song right now. So the Soju chart, which consists of 3 songs, we're going to evaluate it in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. Songs that place number 1 are going to be given the Spice King title. They will get a crown. And then songs that place number 1 3 times in any capacity, you could do it in a row, not in a row, you'll gain entry into the Hall of Spice and join BTS's Dynamite and Twice's I Can't Stop Me. But the Soju chart for episode 116 last week, Boa's Better picked up for its first crown, and then second place was IZ*ONE's Panorama, third place was Kai's Before we discuss things, I think that whenever we come back, which I believe will be the second week or third week of January, something like that, I think we reset the chart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Sure.
Because it's been about a month since we're going to be talking about new songs, right?
I think that's fair, yeah.
All right, let's reset it. But the candidates this week are, of course, Jamie's 5 Christmas Languages, Baek Yerin's 0415, and then also her track Hate You, and then ONEWE's A Book in Memory. Who wants to start? Should I go? Should Warren go? Should Anita go?
I feel like we're going to fight a lot today. I just get a...
Are we?
Yeah. All right, I'll go first then. You know what, guys? Wow, I looked up what I wrote down here. I actually wrote down Fiesta should be first on accident.
What?
After
okay, so
months.
you know what should be first though? Panorama, y'all. That is a great song. Additionally, all the complaints that I had about the music video were fixed today when they had a choreography video come out.
There we go.
I will now, for me, that is now canon. That is the music video. Don't go watch the regular music video. Go watch the performance vid. Second place, I want to put Boa's Better, right? I think that's still a really good song. And then in third place, I want to put Baek Yerin's 0415. So that is the chart that I am fighting for this week.
You know, Douglas, I have a similar chart. Not gonna lie.
Ooh!
It's similar in terms of content, but not in the order. I have
That's fine.
0415 on top.
Okay.
Panorama at third and Better at second.
Panorama in third, and then Better in second. Okay.
Yes.
That's not great, dude. All the songs are tied right now, guys.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay.
No, Anita.
Oh,
it's all
no.
up to you now. You're Georgia.
Well, okay. Anita, first tell us, is one of those three songs, Aizuan's Panorama, Boa's Better, and Baek Yerin 0415, is one of those songs in first place for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay. Can you start from the third place?
Oh, start from the third song then.
Third place.
Yeah.
So for me, I would put Aizuan Panorama in third.
Okay.
I feel like it's still a really good song. Haven't listened to it quite as much as the next two that I'm gonna mention, but I guess I'll mention number one first because I'm debating on number two.
Okay.
Number one, I would put Boa Better. I think after the live performances, I've been watching a lot of stuff from the choreographer that did this song in particular. I think her name is Rian, and she has a YouTube channel, and it's so interesting to see like the behind the scenes for the creation. So anyway, I feel like I've been really listening to the song, really great. So that's my number one.
Wait, why do you have why are you trying to decide between two songs for second?
Let her.
So the thing is, I liked the releases from Baek Yerin from this week, but I'm not sure which one I like more than the other because
Anita, you made it really clear which one you liked more than the other.
Yeah, it was very clear.
I thought it was very clear.
You said you liked the one song over the other, didn't you? I thought you did.
I did not say that.
I swore. Okay, continue.
I
don't know.
I like them for different reasons. I think for 0415, I think the overall concept behind it, like the music video and then contrast with the song, was just really interesting. And I feel like Warren said, you can go back and watch it, even if it's like it's 8 minutes long, but it doesn't feel like that. But then I hear Hate You, and I feel like the chorus is super catchy, and there's something about the lyrics and how casual they are. Like they're not trying to be like super duper deep, right? They're basically talking about this situation, like, and I think it's really nice. And I guess something that I don't hear a ton in mainstream K-pop. Well, is it mainstream? I'm not sure. We kind of debated that she's more indie now. But
I have a question.
Yes.
You put Panorama on third.
Yes, I did.
Now, I put Panorama on third because I liked
Panorama.
I still like Panorama more than Hate You. Which one do you like more than Panorama, Anita?
Both of them.
You can't though. Wait,
but
you like both of them more? Then why is Aizuan in third then? If you like two songs better than
then those two songs should be second and third.
Like I know I'm the Aizuan fan, but what you're saying makes no sense. Like,
well, the thing is,
you can't do a 2.5
like,
place.
I don't want to be like back to back, right? Because I feel like that's not fair.
What? You could do that.
I'm not sure who you're being unfair to.
But
now maybe.
Let's see. If I put Hate You in number two.
No, you can't game the system, Anita. Anita.
Yeah. Wait,
no,
okay.
No.
Okay, if you keep doing this, we're going to have to start doing anonymous votes.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like you can't just be like, who's gonna get number one?
Okay,
that really sounded like Anita, bro. All right, Anita. What song you putting second? What song you putting third? You have literally 5 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna put "Hate You," even though I feel like you guys are not feeling that song, mostly because I feel like 0415. I like the whole, right? But I feel like I might not listen to it as much without the music video. Whereas "Hate You," I feel like is re-listenable without the music video as much. So I'll put "Hate You" in second.
And then, are you putting Eyes One third, or are you putting the other Baek Yerin song in third?
Eyes One on third.
Okay. All right. So it is settled then. 1 second. Let me tally up the votes. Quick. I could tally them very quickly though. Not like the United States. Real quick.
There was a reason it took a while though.
Obviously. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Take that back.
I mailed those two. Is that what you want me to do?
No. All right. But the top 3 this week. In first place, picking up her second crown. She does deserve a crown. Is Boa's Better. Shout out to Boa. Wow. Second crown. She gets kind of screwed by the reset, but whatever. In second place, Eyes One's Panorama with 5 points. Shout out to Eyes One. I don't know how the Discord's gonna take this one again, guys. And then in third place, we have Baek Yerin with 0415. So shout out to that.
Very surprising, but nice.
All great songs.
One more thing that I wanted to add. Even though I don't feel very strongly about 0415 on first, I think this album might be like the K-pop album of the year.
Oh, so late in the year?
Yeah. So if we had a Soju album chart, I would riot if it wasn't first. Just putting that out there. So.
All right.
Interesting.
But we are finally at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
All right. So on Tuesday on the show, NCT U's 90s Love had its first win. So congrats to them. Then on Wednesday, Show Champion, and Thursday, M Countdown, there was no broadcast or winner due to COVID-19. But later on Friday on Music Bank, BTS's Dynamite had its 27th win. And then on Saturday, Show Music Core, and Sunday on Inkigayo, BTS's Life Goes On had another 2 wins. So they're up to 26 wins this comeback.
Wait, what?
What?
Anita, no, Life Goes On picked up its 5th and 6th wins on.
That's what I meant.
Show Music Core and Inkigayo. So on Inkigayo, that win, it's the 11th Triple Crown of 2020. If you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year, right? 33 weeks of it is from Triple Crown songs at a minimum.
Wow.
We had
no, it is 33 weeks because they remove it after the Triple Crowns. So that's kind of crazy, right?
That's more than half.
Yeah. So additionally, Inkigayo had their final broadcast of 2020 on December 13th and will return on my birthday, January 10th, 2021. So shout out to me. Additionally, SBS's Gayo Daejeon will be held on Christmas Day, December 25th. So be on the lookout for that. But we are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 117. If you are listening to the audio version, sit tight. And if you are on YouTube, head over to the episode 117 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 117, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events and give you the state of the nation. Alright, news and events from last week. We do this every year, but the best-selling K-pop artists of 2020.
We got them big numbers.
During the week, the Twitter page K-pop Sales dropped a series of tweets in which they displayed the newly updated Gaon album sales numbers through November across a variety of categories. If you like numbers like me, the K-pop Sales Twitter page is full of numbers. Go check it out. It's awesome. Gaon is a chart that tracks how many albums have been sold to retailers minus returns, while Hanto tracks how many albums are directly sold to consumers. So just keep that in mind. Additionally, I want to reiterate again that these numbers are just through November, so they contain 0 sales in the month of December. So as you know, ENHYPEN debuted on November 30th, and then IZ*ONE released One Reeler in December. Is this Warren again who highlighted everything? It is him. Yes. So just keep in mind that the ENHYPEN number and then the IZ*ONE number and anyone else who released stuff late November or in December is probably underestimated as to what they actually have sold in 2020. But let's start at rookie groups. By and far, by double the person in second place, right? Mm-hmm. Treasure is sold so many albums as a rookie group, so they are from YG. They sold 703,000 albums. Oof. Nuts. The next tier down, you have groups that sold about 320,000. So in second place is Gravity, third place ENHYPEN. And then fourth to eighth place is pretty much groups that sold somewhere between the range of 70,000 to 47,000, so that kind of range. So we went like 700,000, 300,000 down to like 70 to 40, right? And those groups are TOO, WEI, MCND, Drippin', and Weekly. Shout out to Weekly. We'll talk about them some. And then lastly, the lowest we have in 9th and 10th place, Boy, BOY, and P1 Harmony, and they sold about 20,000 albums. Mm-hmm. All right, things that stick out to me, right? Mm-hmm. Number 1, weekly only girl group on this list, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. And then additionally, the dominance of obviously Treasure and then Gravity and ENHYPEN, right? So those are the top 3 guy groups in terms of sales this year.
Big jump too, like top 3 and then the rest for sure.
Yeah, it's like what, like almost 4 times difference.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna assume that obviously this ENHYPEN number once December comes in is also much higher than that.
Yeah, right.
Didn't their album like drop like the last week of November or so?
Yep,
yes, Warren. We said that in the intro to the section, sir.
Right.
Just saying.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
I think this year as a whole, there's been so many guy group debuts. Right? Mm-hmm. Treasure, Gravity, ENHYPEN, TOO, WEI, MCND, Drippin', BOI, and P1 Harmony. That's a lot of groups, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm saying Boy or BOI. I'm sorry, but it's one of those two. I'm going to say it's Boy, though. I think we'll go with that. I think overall, though, it does reflect what I think the future looks like for some of these groups, where Treasure... Obviously, their fandom is super strong, right? 700,000 is absolutely nuts. I believe for guy groups as a whole, that puts them in 8th place for all guy groups this year.
Oh man,
that's a big number.
And
then I think obviously Gravity and ENHYPEN have the most hype after them. Probably ENHYPEN second, and then Gravity third, if I had to guess.
I guess like I'm still quite surprised that Gravity is like all the way up a second, because I know that they have a lot of members coming from different pre-existing groups. A lot is it? I don't know.
No, that's not
Gravity.
Produce people. That's from Produce.
Right. X1. No.
Well,
that's one group. Not a lot of existing groups, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. It came out the wrong way.
Man, I don't know what you on today, sir. God.
Even though, like I'm still surprised because I thought the whole hype behind I don't know. I guess I underestimated the amount of hype behind them, and it's just a lot bigger.
Really? I'm not. I don't agree with that at all. Because like they were really popular in X1. X1 sold a ton of albums in the short time we had them.
So you think that number should have been bigger? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying like they're doing about as well as I thought they would. Like the second or third best guy group that debuted this year.
Yeah, well, I don't think. I guess I was still surprised.
What about you, Anita?
We talked about rookies, right? And in the award show that we filmed yesterday. But again, I feel like Gravity definitely was... Like, I did have expectations for them, having so many members that were in Produce and that actually made it to the debut group. So I'm happily surprised that they kept up, because I think the hype was there, but with the scandal and like the bad publicity that the show got, and then got transferred onto the trainees, which is not fair, to be honest. I was a little worried. I was a little worried that it was going to die down for a lot of them, and that they were just gonna not do so well because of that scandal. But luckily they haven't, at least for this group.
I think that goes across with all the groups that were affected by this, because IZ*ONE did better than ever too.
Yes.
So I think that it's good that the fans have recognized that it wasn't the kids' fault. Like, I know there are still negative comments, but as a whole, these fandoms, like, don't care, and nor do I think they should, because it wasn't the kids' fault anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I think that's cool. Let's move on to male soloists now. Baek Yerin, yo. Over 1 million albums sold. Like, crazy.
Yeah.
The next group down, so there's artists, so obviously Kang Daniel sold 600,000, and then Kim Ho Jung, who was one of the guys from Mr. Trot, he sold 530,000.
Oh man.
And then below that, we have Suho, Taemin, and Woods, which all sold around like 290 to 245,000 albums. And then the bottom tier of this top 10, I'm not saying they're bottom tier, but just out of these top 10, we have Park Ji-hoon, Wonho, Ha Sung-un, and Kim Woo-suk, who all sold somewhere between like 165 to 120,000 albums.
Dang.
Baek Yerin, though.
What a guy.
That's nuts, right?
That's nuts. Yeah.
That's like so many albums. By himself, he's the 8th best-selling artist in K-pop this year.
Oh.
You also have to factor in. Didn't he put out just one release this year?
Yes.
Yeah, Candy.
One release, one
Right.
album.
That's
Wow.
crazy. That's actually really wild. One release and 1 million, bro. Like.
Yeah, and then I think this year Kang Daniel still has really solid sales. Obviously in third place, Kim Ho Jung. I'm not super familiar with him, but his numbers more or less represent how Trot is doing in Korea.
Yeah.
If we think about that, right? Trot is not a genre known for people going out and buying a gajillion albums, at least in the recent times, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they sold 500,000 albums is nuts. I remember when I was in Korea last year, Song Ga-in was really popping off. Her album was, you could have bought it anywhere. Like any market, they were selling it. It was the number one thing in like right by the cash register. Her album was everywhere. I'm assuming it was a similar thing to that this year with his album.
It was probably even bigger, and Kim Ho Jung was the case where like a lot of there was a whole mom fandom behind Kim Ho Jung.
Okay,
right, and I didn't think they were buying a lot of albums, but maybe they did. I don't know. I'm still very pleasantly surprised. Yeah, but I guess like you said, Trot is
popping off.
Probably the most mainstream. Yeah.
If we look at Taemin number, 169,000, I think that's a little low because he's still releasing stuff and he's had releases more recently.
True, that's true.
Woods though, 245,000. That X1 thing really ain't affecting them either, right? Like he's doing really well there.
He's going.
And then I'm also really happy that Wonho is doing well now. 145,000 is really good for a solo debut. I would say.
Right.
All right, female soloists, right? Number 1, Moonbyul. Who would have thought that? 116,000 albums. And then next, in second and third, we have Solar and IU, who basically both sold 84,000 albums. Fourth and fifth place was Hwasa and Taeyeon, who sold somewhere between 70 and 60,000 in that range. And then following that, there's a big grouping of Baek Yerin, Jennie. That Jennie album's from last year, y'all. Yua, Jung Eun-ji, and Chungha. They all sold somewhere between 20 and 30,000 albums.
Did IU actually release a physical project this year?
I think that's Love Poem sales still.
Man.
Because Love Poem released in like November, so they would still probably have some sales from last year.
Man, these people. Oh my God.
These fandoms, right? Just still buying the albums.
This is still going hard.
All right, so one thing, obviously. Moonbyul first. Hwasa, Solar second, Hwasa fourth. Mamamoo solo stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Did Huyen have an album? Did she have a physical?
I know. I think she had a couple singles and that was it.
Yeah. Okay, so that would make more sense. I'm gonna like, okay, y'all gotta hold on till the award show next week. There's like implications from these charts to there. It's kind of crazy what actually happened. Another thing I want to point out, Yua, right? 8th place, 27,000. That's pretty good considering that's her solo debut.
Yes.
Chungha's sales, you're seeing 10th place, 20,000. You might feel like that's a little low, but if you have to remember, she didn't actually get to release the album at all. Right. Because of COVID, because she had just been doing a bunch of singles throughout the year and pre-releases, things like that. So that's probably why her number's so low. I think if she actually released an album itself, she'd probably be way higher on this list.
So she basically didn't release an album.
No.
And it's 10th place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you look at this list, Chungha, Jennie, I believe Baek Yerin's album was last year too.
Yep.
Dang.
And IU did not release albums this year. What about Taeyeon? I think hers might have been last year too.
Yeah, no, that was at the end of last year. I remember. Oh,
so
man.
crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, and again, if you want to find all the numbers in specific, you could either find somewhere that has the GAN chart through November or the K-pop sales Twitter page. So shout out to them. All right, we're on the groups now. Boy groups, right? This number.
Oh, look at that number.
BTS in first place, over 9 million albums sold.
Ooh, 9 million.
Nuts. Second place, we got 17 with 2.7 million, right? And then the next grouping in third and fourth, we have NCT 127 and then NCT, the Resident Stuff. They're both at about 1.5 million. Fifth and sixth place, somewhat rookie-ish groups, younger groups in Stray Kids and TXT, both at about 920 to 940,000.
So close to 1 million. So close.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after them, we got GOT7, Treasure, NCT Dream, and ATEEZ, all somewhere between like 700 to 750,000 albums sold in that order.
Man.
All right.
Oh, man.
9 million albums. That's a lot, right?
Yes.
You do have to realize if any artist is making 1% of 9 million, that's like considered pretty successful. Put that in scope.
Yes.
90,000, right?
Yeah.
Instead of 900,000 or 9 million. If you make 90,000 sales, that's like a pretty good, think about it. IU had 80,000 this year. Sure, leading off of last year, but still like
this is kind of nuts. Right?
Yeah.
9 million album sales. Obviously, if we go past that, 17, right? They still holding strong. In what I would consider not one of their best years, I think 2019 was stronger for them. Still have 2.7 million album sales.
Still going hard.
Obviously, NCT, third place, fourth place, ninth place. Kind of crazy. If you combine all their sales, it's like 3.7 or 8 million. So that would actually put them in second if you combined.
Yeah.
Yo, Stray Kids and TXT, those younger groups, I think that TXT number is a little bit low because that album came out not too long ago either, right?
Right, November.
In November itself. So Stray Kids and TXT, I think, really improved their standing within the boy group scene, and it's representative in these numbers as well, right? That's where you guys comment or say something.
Yeah. Nito, you got anything to say?
No, I'm just really surprised by, of course, we mentioned it already, Treasure making it 8th as a debut. I think I've been a little bit critical, saying that I wasn't quite feeling a lot of their later comebacks after Boy, but for sure the hype did not die down. I think I'm looking forward to their next year, because I think if they keep up this, they're gonna break top 5 possibly, because they have a good shot.
Lastly, I think you got to put respect on AT's name, because again, they are the only they are the only group from a company that's not either a big umbrella or a top 4 company.
Right.
Yes. So shout out to AT's. KQ Entertainment is absolutely killing it again. I believe they were 9th or 10th last year too, so they are holding firm. All right, girl groups now. Blackpink, the album, like 1.7 million.
Oh,
nutty. The next tier down, we have Twice and IZ*ONE. So Twice is at 1.3, and then IZ*ONE's about 1 million, 1.1. But obviously that number after December is going to be higher than that. Fourth place though, after that, so we got million sellers there, 3 of them, right? It drops down to 400,000 with ITZY. That is a big gap, right?
Yes.
600,000 album gap. And then following that, the next tier down, we have G-Idol, Mamamoo, G-Friend, and then the Red Velvet unit of Irene and Sugi. Those groups are / units are somewhere between like 230,000 and 300,000 with G-Idol. So shout out to them. And then 9th and 10th place, 2 groups from a little bit smaller companies. Luna, 177,000, and Dreamcatcher, 170,000. Shout out to them.
Shout outs. Dreamcatcher, very pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they were like 10th or 11th last year too, so they all like are also gaining traction.
Yeah.
I would really like to know, specifically with Luna and Dreamcatcher, what percentage of the album sales end up in domestic hands or international hands. I would really like to know that figure, but I don't know if we can ever get that.
Same.
Overall, though, I think for everything we're seeing, all these numbers are inflated this year. Everything blew up. Everyone is sitting at home.
Sales.
You got nothing to do. You're looking on websites, K-Town for you, Amazon, eBay. You're like, I gotta buy some albums real quick. Mm-hmm. I think this year. Oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh. Well, no, I was gonna say ITZY is. It might seem like a big gap between IZ*ONE and ITZY, but like still, like they're what? This is their second year in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like really solid. Like you gotta because they didn't have like a huge show coming out right before their release.
True.
They just kind of appeared, had a single. I mean, without kind of anything propelling them, that they just got there. Like that's kind of wild.
I feel like ITZY's hype. Like if you like ITZY's style of music, you really like ITZY's music, and you really die hard into it.
Right.
Our Discord's popping off with ITZY. We have a hidden ITZY channel because they're going so ham in the other channels. That exists. 400,000 for them in year 2 is really good, I think.
I do feel like the concept and the color they do is like very difficult to replicate with other people because I've seen other groups do it. Hasn't been the same impact and results for me personally. Yeah.
I know we will eventually get more Mago sales or whatever the album that one's from with G-Friend.
Oh, right.
But you got to think G-Idol being in 5th at this point is really good for them too because they are relatively new too.
Mm-hmm.
It's also strong sales. And then Mamamoo did more solo stuff this year, so that's probably why they're in 6th. And then, of course, units don't sell as well as groups, so that's why. And obviously, Red Velvet just had like a bad year overall. Wendy getting injured. The stuff with Irene lately. It's just a little bit of a rough year. But finally, Luna Dreamcatcher. That's so cool. Those are 2 groups I really like, and I'm really happy to see them in 9th and 10th, right?
Nice.
To be very frank, I thought Luna might have been higher on the chart. Not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's confirmation bias or selection bias. I don't know. I thought they were a lot more popular. But I don't know. I guess that doesn't always translate into sales.
But to close it out for girl groups, clearly Blackpink twice, IZ*ONE, right? Big physical.
Yeah.
They really separated themselves. Big 3 this year.
Yeah.
All right, finally, best-selling artists. So this is across all the categories we covered. First place, BTS, 9 million. Second place, 17, 2.7 million. In third place, we have the grouping of Blackpink, NCT 127, and NCT, all between 1.7 million, and 1.5 million. And then finally, the last grouping, 6th place Twice, 7th place IZ*ONE, 8th place Baekhyun, 9th place Stray Kids, 10th place TXT, all somewhere between the range of 900,000 and like 1.3 million.
Oof.
Look at that.
That's kind of nuts. Obviously BTS is king, right?
Yep.
For sure. 17's up there too. Blackpink, 3rd place as a girl group is really strong because typically girl groups don't sell as many albums as boy groups. That's just how it is in K-pop. But we have all 3 of the top 3 girl groups though in the top 10, which is cool. I think that's higher than it usually is. And then to close it out at the bottom, we got some emerging talent, Stray Kids, TXT. Like, I don't know if we're going to have a culture shift in 2021, but things are definitely looking up for these, for Stray Kids and TXT specifically, I would say.
Yeah.
I think next year is definitely one of those. Oh, yeah. Should I save this? Should I save this for the prediction episode? Actually, I'll save it for the prediction.
Save it. I'll tease it.
But I have ideas for next year relating to this.
Oh.
All right. The final thing I want to point out is in total, there have been 77 albums through November, which have sold over 100,000 copies. This is the 3rd highest since the existence of the physical sales chart in 1998. Only the year 2000 with 102 albums and 2001 with 80 albums have had more albums that sold over 100,000 copies. And obviously, once we get through December, that's probably going to be higher than 80. So this is probably the 2nd best-selling year for K-pop albums since 1998.
I also want to note, like, back in, 1998, 2000, 2001, those years were, nobody had MP3 players. Mm-hmm. Actually, people listening to this probably don't even know what MP3 players are anymore, right? Like, that's not a thing. No.
People know.
Do people know? I don't know. You had to buy CDs back in the day. You had to carry around a CD player. So if you wanted to listen to your favorite musician's music, you actually had to buy their physical album. So with that in mind, Buck Nuts, wild.
Buck Nuts? What? All right.
Okay.
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good thing you're saying. I think it's a good point, is what I'm trying to say, is because albums now are completely unnecessary if we think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no actual function of albums other than I want this because it looks cool or I like this group, right? There's no actual function that you need this unless you're someone who still uses CD player, but I would assume that that's like the small minority of people who are buying these, right? But overall though, to have this many albums sold in 2020 in a what is considered a weird year overall is crazy to me. All right, let's move on to the next topic. BTS named Time's 2020 Entertainer of the Year. So on December 10th, BTS was named Time's 2020 Entertainer of the Year. In a video package, RM spoke about how their 2020 included the pandemic, the cancellation of their tour, but also featured some high points for them, including reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I believe that Lizzo won this award last year. So that's the company that they are in. Time magazine also released lists of the song and albums that defined K-pop in 2020. They also covered a broad range, not just the really popular groups. So, songs. This is in alphabetical order in terms of the groups. So, 8pink's Dum Dum, AT's Answer, Blackpink's Lovesick Girls, Everglow's La Di Da, Hwasa's Maria, ITZY's Not Shy, NCT 127's Kick It, Oh My Girl's Nonstop, Pentagon's Daisy, 17's Home Run.
That's a good list.
Daisy.
Interesting list.
I kind of like okay, obviously I don't think they included like Any Song or Dynamite here, right? Because I don't honestly think they needed to, but I kind of like this list, right?
Some shout outs there.
Yeah, it's a very solid playlist right there.
They're covering a wide range of K-pop, and whoever researched this list, I think actually put in some effort in this one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't just put the songs from the biggest groups.
I also want to note that it's not a list of songs that blew up or popular. It's a list of songs that defines K-pop in 2020. I think it's a direct intersecting look, a dissection, if you will, of like the current trends. You know, what kind of sounds are popping off. You know,
exactly. All right, and the albums that define K-pop in 2020, they chose BTS's Map of the Soul 7, of course, Day6's Book of Us, The Demon, Dreamcatcher's Dystopia, The Tree of Language, G-Friend's Walpurgis Night, I think that's how you say that, IZ*ONE's Bloom Eyes, Monsta X's All About Love, Stray Kids In Life, Super M's Super One, Taemin's Never Gonna Dance Again Act 2, and Twice's Eyes Wide Open. Between the songs and the albums they chose, I love what they did here, right?
Nice variety. I like
Great
this.
variety. A little bit for everyone.
Is there actually nobody that overlapped? Nobody overlapped?
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
I did not realize that before.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So they shouted out 20 groups essentially here.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout outs. Big shout outs.
Yeah, I didn't look up who actually wrote the article or who chose this, but I feel like they did a pretty good job. And sometimes in Western media, these lists and stuff, sometimes I find them, for K-pop specifically, kind of cookie cutter, you know, catered towards the big groups. But I feel like this person covered a broad range of, obviously most of these groups are popular in some semblance, but they covered a wide net when they could have really restricted it if they didn't have a big knowledge, I would say.
Right. Like albums like what? Like the G-Friend Hey Walpurgis Night, and like that one, and like Pentagon's Daisy, and like The Book of Us, The Demon. Like these weren't the most popular ones, you know?
You had to know what's going on to know these stuff.
Right.
That's pretty cool, right?
It's
Shout
a
out to
reminder.
Time magazine.
Yeah.
All right, last section, COVID's continued effect on K-pop. I'm happy to announce no one tested positive this week, y'all.
Yes.
Well, none of the artists test positive. So on December 9th, in Hypen were tested for COVID after an external staff member was confirmed positive. All members tested negative, though, and activities resumed on the 10th. M&H Entertainment shared that Chungha's singles X and the studio album... Anita, you say this one.
I think it's Querencia.
Originally scheduled for release on December 10th and January 4th, respectively, will be delayed with new schedules announced later following Chungha testing positive for COVID-19 last year. And then finally, NBC announced that the 2021 Idol Star Athletic Competition, the Solal version, will not be occurring this year due to the rising COVID cases in Korea, which all makes sense to me.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. You know how like a couple weeks ago we were saying like this might be what breaks the camel's back?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the proverb you used, Douglas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Proverb? Is that the right word? Idiom.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the camel's still walking about.
The thing that I find a little bit sus as someone who has like a master's degree in public health is like, even though these idols are testing negative, which is great, right?
Right.
Some of them return to activities like the day after. Like,
yeah,
it's a little bit sus to me because my at least what I thought was conventional wisdom was like, I get exposed, I get tested, I come back negative. I still want to be safe for like a week or so, maybe 10 days.
I think originally at some point, the federal regulation was to quarantine yourself 2 weeks, regardless of the test result. I think that got lifted at certain points. So technically, I think they're following those laws. But actually, don't take this with a bit of salt. I might be.
I just feel like the optics aren't that great for me, at least.
Yeah.
Like, I just want them to be safe. But all right, quick takes now. Big Hit Labels end of the year online concert, 2021 New Year's Eve live. We'll have special stages from Halsey. I don't know how to pronounce this next one.
Love.
Sure. Steve Aoki and Shin Hae-chul. So Shin Hae-chul was a legendary singer-songwriter who passed away in 2014. I'm assuming it's going to be a hologram or something of that nature.
How are you going to do that?
He is the...
Yeah.
He's a big figure, man, this guy. What's Mawang in English?
Oh, so one of his nicknames is something to do with like devils or something, right? The devil of rock or something.
The king of devil, the Satan, the devil, Diablo, whatever, the word. He's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the king of rock and roll in Korea. So that should be interesting.
Too. Yeah.
I wonder what that's gonna look like. But next, Island contestant Hanbin will be performing a pre-opening show performance as well.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Hanbin, you know?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, next, Rain and JYP are confirmed to release the song together in January now. Their first performance is expected to take place at the 2020 MBC Gayo de Jejan. So
nice.
I'm really looking forward to that, right? That should be cool. Rain was the pupil of JYP for a long time. They even lived together with G.O.D. at one point in like a mountainside cabin. And there's some legendary stories out of there. They kind of split apart at a certain point. I heard there was a little bit of tension. They seem to come together now with age. And it's to the point now where JYP appeared on Rain's YouTube channel. And then he also had episodes with Twice, I think, last couple weeks. So it seems like the relationship is really good now.
Nice. They're friends again. I like friends.
Yes. Next, Super Junior announced that the release of their 10th album, The Renaissance, will be delayed till January 2021 to better improve the album. I think that's the correct decision. Like Cyberpunk, they released that thing way too early, and now there's a bunch of bugs, and it's not good.
And that's after they delayed it a whole bunch of times, too. So.
Yeah, so I think sometimes delaying is the right decision because you want to give the consumers the good products. All right. On December 9th, SM Entertainment applied for the trademark logo for the SM Culture Universe and SM Culture Technology.
Here it comes.
So they are trademarking these words and logos as well now.
It's a boring looking logo, but
yeah, it's really boring.
Yeah.
I know Warren's in like graphic design and that kind of stuff, and
I feel like they just wrote it in like a default font like Arial or something, and they just called it a logo.
They definitely did. So you could go look up the logo online. But A-Pink announced an online stage titled Pink of the Year, which will occur on December 27th. I believe that is the same day as the Blackpink online concert, so you might have to choose between those. All right. SBS's Gayo de Chukje announced their first lineup for the December 18th show, and the announced artists will include BTS, Twice, 17, NCT, JYP doing a stage with Sunmi, Shiny's Taemin, Paul Kim, Jessie and GOT7's Jackson having a stage, and then Kim Youngja and then Seol Eun-do will also have a collaboration stage.
Nice.
Kim Youngja's the Amor Fati lady, right?
Yeah. These two are the trot legends of Korea.
Oh, so there's going to be a legend trot stage. Lastly, the Fact Music Awards were held on December 12th, and then BTS took home the Daesang for the third year in a row.
Nice.
This year's artists, which they give out to a lot of groups that had good years, were BTS, 17, Monsta X, Super Junior, Kang Daniel, Hwasa, IZ*ONE, Twice, GOT7, Newest, and Mamamoo.
Nice.
And the next Leader Award, which is pretty much their Rookie of the Year, was awarded to Hypen, Gravity, and Weekly.
Nice. Weekly.
And finally, we are at comebacks and releases. Warren, hit us with them.
December 15th, on Tuesday, we have Taeyeon. December 16th, on Wednesday, we have Lee Hai. December 18th, on Friday, we have Twice with the release of Cry For Me. December 22nd, on Tuesday, we have Jung-hwa. December 24th, on Thursday, we have Baek Yerin. In other confirmed release news, we have G-Idol confirmed for mid-January. So watch out for that.
So I know we're not going to officially cover those in the next couple of weeks, obviously, because we have the other episodes, but we will probably cover everything that happened over the break during our first episode back. So that's most likely what will happen. So just pointing that out. So we're not going to just skip some of these songs. If they're big, we'll cover them. Boom. All right. State of the Nation, y'all.
Yes.
How you doing, guys? How you guys doing?
Man, a lot of reading. I struggle with public speaking / reading.
Now after doing this show for 2 years,
it stresses me out, I would say.
Oh man. Well, I think you're doing a good job, Douglas.
I also half lose my voice every time we do the pod. By the end of it, so that's a thing. But sacrifices need to be made. State of the Nation.
You have a single word here. Yeah, that's
Christmas. So you wanted to talk about Christmas.
Holidays.
I have some stories revolving Christmas. Do you want to hear them?
Sure.
I have some anecdotes.
Very random, but go for it.
All right. So the first thing that's kind of funny regarding Christmas, I think that I believed in Santa way longer than the average kid.
Okay.
What is your average?
Right.
What do you think is the average?
I don't know, but I feel I don't I'm boomer age now, so I don't know how good my memory is.
Just for reference, I stopped believing in Santa around 8. How about you, Anita?
I was 4th grade, maybe. What is that? 9?
Wait, that's kind of
that's kind of
late. I thought my punchline was that I thought Santa was real when I was 9 or 10, but I guess I'm not the only one who thought that.
Yeah, it's about average. Yeah,
I don't think that's average. I think kids find out. No, I think that's high.
No. You know what the thing? Small anecdote before we go into yours. Back then in 4th grade, it turns out everyone was like, "Oh, I don't believe in Santa," but a whole bunch of my friends were like, "I actually believe in Santa. I just didn't want to seem like." Anyways.
Rip. I could swear that's old though.
It might. Okay, honestly, it might be. I don't know.
I had compounding factors though. Let me explain this.
Okay.
My mom told me if you don't believe in Santa, you're not gonna get presents. So
that makes sense.
So I was like, "Yo, Santa's real, y'all. Gotta get the presents. Now that you're nice, he gotta come down the chimney, eat the cookies we leave out." I'm pretty sure my dad just ate the cookies, But the presents were good, so I was like, "Why would I not believe?" Right?
Right.
that was my logic.
There's nothing to lose here if you don't.
I know. And Christmas Eve, I'll be like, "Bro, we gotta get to bed early because the faster I fall asleep, the faster we're getting presents."
Yes.
On the flip side, though, I once got my ass kicked on Christmas.
What happened?
All right. So my family, we have a family business which runs during the summer, a fishing-oriented business. We have 4 seasons in New Jersey, so fishing doesn't really happen in winter all that much, right?
Right.
So we normally go to Florida every year for Christmas. So I would traditionally receive we have a timeshare down there. We're fortunate enough to have that. So I would normally receive my presents in Florida, right? For the most part, most years.
Santa visits you while you're in Florida.
Yes, go along with it. I would get some presents there, a couple of them, right? Because, luggage constraints, I'm guessing now. And then once we came back, I'd get a couple more whenever we came back from our little stay in Florida.
You got a lot of gifts. Oh, my God. Okay.
And then my birthday's in January 10th. So,
right.
Dang.
Just saying, it was great. But So this year, this was after we realized Santa wasn't real. I think it was, let me look up the exact year. This was in 2004, right? So I'm 12 right now, right? I'm 12. I realized Santa's might not be, sorry if you think he's real still, but he ain't real, sorry. So I was like, all right, I've been asking for this Nintendo DS for like months now, y'all. Like I've been asking for this
for like
the original one, the silver one that sucked a little, but like it was great back then, right?
The one that wasn't pastel colors.
Correct. I had the silver, the plain one, right?
Okay.
I was like, bro, I need this Nintendo DS. I've been using this Game Boy Color for like forever, right? I need this DS. So I begged for like 6 months, right?
I need the 2 screens.
So what happened was we're down in Florida. I guess I was feeling a little bit mischievous that day. I was like, I think this might have been the day before Christmas. I'm like, I'm going to go sneak and see if they bought it for me.
Oh, no, Douglas.
Long story short, they found me snooping for the present, and I got a Korean ass whooping that day.
You couldn't be patient.
Bro, the Nintendo DS.
You're 12 years old. 12 years old they're not patient. They're after the Nintendo DS.
All I'll say, it was worth it because they let me play with it that day after I found it. So, the moral of the story is, snoop for the presents.
No, don't.
Don't we have like 13-year-olds listening to this show?
And if you get your ass kicked, it's worth. Because what are they going to do? Return it?
You never know.
Actually, they might return it. I was just fortunate because we were
you were in Florida. Like, imagine.
Yeah, they ain't gonna return that. They ain't gonna return that back then. Nah. So
you know how I lost? You know how I found out that Santa was real?
It was fake.
It was way beyond 8 years old, right? I forget when. I think it was like around 4th grade actually too. Because I was in America until that point. We had a chimney. We did the whole thing, bring the cookies out every night, that kind of deal. And then we go to Korea. We live in one of those typical apartments. Korean apartments, they don't got chimneys. They don't got a fireplace.
It's true.
They do not.
Try buy like one of those big. They don't even have those big chocolate chip cookies. They got they got different chocolate chip cookies. They're like tiny. So mom's like, he'll be around. Let's not worry about the chocolate chip cookies. Let's not worry about. He'll probably come in through the front door as well. But don't worry about it. And then I heard the word, front door. Bet I got it. So what happened?
Stake out.
No, I didn't stake out. I was like planning to go to sleep and everything. And my Santa at the time, my father, was wrapping up work. Korean people, they wrap up work a little late sometimes, and he got home a little late, probably waiting until I fell asleep. And then I was like, it's either Santa or it's either my dad. I gotta say welcome home, Dad. So it's probably like 11 or something. I hear him come in and I run out. I'm like, oh, that's a big Lego box.
Oh no.
Now the thing was I was like, dude, we ain't got a chimney. Like of course Santa's like, what is he gonna do? Like take the subway? Like that's not. So yeah, good times. I've got one of those big Lego Star Wars TIE Fighter things.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
I wasn't really a video game kid because he didn't let me. Shout out to my mom.
You know what was the best present I ever received though?
What?
The year was 2000, right?
How do you? Oh, okay.
I'm at the Wikipedia page. PlayStation 2 was the best present I ever.
Yeah.
I got the same PS2. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I have a PS3, right? I have one though. I still I don't really play consoles anymore. I stopped with a PS3. I never bought a PS4. I normally play PC games. PC Master Race. Let's go.
Let's go. True Korean.
If I ever play console games, I don't play the PS3. I only play the PS2 now. Still, that was like the best game. They gave the game that my parents got me with it was a WWF. I think at the time game. I think it was WWF Shut Your Mouth. I think was the title, something like that.
Wait, they bought you a wrestling game?
Bro, I was so into it. The Rock was on the cover.
Wow.
Let me look this up. Yep, WWE. Oh no, Triple H was on the cover. All right, Triple H, something like that. It was something around that time. It was one of those games. Boy, that was the best. I think out of any present I've ever gotten for Christmas, that was the one that was most used.
Oh man,
for sure.
You're such cool parents, man.
It still runs, and I still use it to this day, and it's like almost 20 years old now, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, this guy also got a PS2 for Christmas at some point.
Nice.
And I was like, this is my first video game thing. I was super excited. Played it a whole bunch. My mom's like looking at me from the corner of the room. She's like,
oh no,
this kid's playing a lot of it.
Oh no.
So she's like, Warren, here's a chart. Here's a table. You are going to play these allocated amount of hours per day, per week. And you cannot go over them. You may earn more, however, by doing chores and homework. And then at some point, they were like, "No, Warren, you're not gonna get any video games. Too violent." Mind you, the games I had was Sonic, and then like this, I think like FIFA. I don't know, some soccer game back in the day. Probably wasn't FIFA. Winning 11. So, I didn't. Shout outs to my parents. Love them.
Anita, you got any Christmas type stories?
Well, I'm trying to think of like memorable presents. The DS. I got the DS Lite.
Okay.
And I think that was it. Still to this day, like it doesn't work anymore. It broke, but that was like one of those games in my childhood that defined like pastime, especially Nintendogs. I don't know if you guys.
Okay, the Nintendogs.
Okay,
Anita. Okay.
I can see you playing Nintendogs.
Nintendogs was so cute, and the Pokemon Ranger game that came out. Yeah, I really love that game, and I got a little sad when I finished the storyline and I didn't have a mission to do anymore. But that was probably the most memorable for me. Those DS games.
Speaking of Pokemon Rangers, I still am a big Pokemon fan. But I couldn't play because I didn't have any of those like handhelds, right? I didn't have a Game Boy. I didn't have a Nintendo. The first thing I had was a 3DS, which I bought after I graduated high school. And I wanted to play Pokemon Rangers so bad. So that's how I got into emulation and ROMs.
Oh, okay.
And pirating. Don't do that. It's illegal. Don't do it. I was young and stupid. Don't be me. But it was a letdown of a game. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked the game.
To be frank, I only played it because I played everything else, and I was like, "This is a thing too." Okay, I have to circle around these people. Okay.
Yes, the stylus. That was I don't know.
You have to realize I had a mouse and a keyboard to do that, so it was like it's different.
You didn't get the full experience.
No. My first Pokemon game, like, let's put it this way: the first time I ever saw Pokemon, a kid was playing it on those massive Game Boys, the ones that were black and white color, like the original Game Boy. It was monstrous, the size of it, and the screen had no color because there was no color yet.
Right.
Yes.
The first time I saw the red and blue back in the day.
This kid named Lenny from my dance school was playing it. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Revolutionary.
Somehow I ended up getting the original Game Boy Color with Pokemon Blue. That was life-changing to me.
Oh.
There were so many times when we would drive down to Florida and I'm playing with the highway lights because this wasn't a backlit screen.
Right.
You gotta wait.
And I didn't have that little thing you plug in, the little like portable light for it. Used to have to plug a light in. I was like waiting for the light to come over to keep playing. Dude, those are the days. And this is like 1 a.m. driving down to Florida. I was playing this thing. Like, oh my God, it's so much fun. Christmas though,
you sidetracked a bit.
We're back at Christmas.
Yeah,
my favorite holiday for sure.
Really? Oh, interesting.
My family, I was talking about this with my mom this week. We celebrate all of the holidays like big time. Like we commit to the holidays. Like Easter, we paint eggs. Thanksgiving, we got the turkey. Warren came one year to that. That was crazy.
Cool. I came twice.
You came twice? Oh, you did come twice. The first time was the time where a gajillion people came.
Right.
That was nuts.
That was a nut year, yeah.
That was nutty. Christmas, we go ham. We bought a tree. It's the smallest tree I've ever seen us buy. It's like 5 foot tall. It's like a
not that small.
All right, it's an Anita-sized tree, Just like Anita, it's pleasant, So it's we normally buy a big, like a 7-foot tree.
Oh man,
we're downside. We're getting a smaller tree because it's like, it's a bit of a pain in the butt. But we got the tree going.
Here's the thing I never got about American culture. Do all of you guys buy trees every year?
Most
not me.
Many families either go buy trees from like Lowe's or Home Depot, or they have a artificial tree that they put up every year.
Right. Artificial for me.
Okay. Okay. We also have an artificial tree, and we considered we were like, I remember this was a couple of years into coming to America, and we were like, all of our neighbors seem to be buying real trees.
Yeah,
why don't we do that too?
You see it in like January, like in the front yard, getting ready to be picked up by the recycling people or something.
Right. And every time we would go to, I guess, Lowe's, we would see these like trees lined up that are dead, and looking all nice. And my dad was like, "Oh, you should get one of these. We're in America.
It's a pain. It's a pain though.
Yo, yeah. My mom was like so pissed. She was like, "No,
you got to commit to that.
Out, no out."
Overall, though, let's talk to the nation a little. I hope all of you are having as nice of a holiday as physically possible.
Yeah.
While staying as safe as possible, because that's honestly what matters. There will be many Christmases in the future, but there are not many loved ones, and that you only have them once. So that's just something I want everyone to remember.
Very true.
If you're gonna visit family, like my sister's gonna come down soon. She's been quarantining for like 8 days at this point. She's gonna get the COVID test. And then we're comfortable with her coming. She skipped Thanksgiving, which is the first time that's ever happened. Yeah. But we figured like we could have more Thanksgivings in the future. But like that tiny % chance, God forbid, someone gets it and dies, you're gonna have that guilt forever, essentially. True. That's true. So that's the decision we made. That's true. Overall, though, we'll have some parting words probably in the summary episode for 2020. But in terms of like actual episodes, this is our last one this year, like full episodes. There's going to be some changes in 2021, as we've been mentioning. We might even be releasing on Tuesdays now, most likely, because we have the technological capabilities of doing so now, which is really cool. Warren got a new computer. A fraction of it was funded by the patrons, so shout out to them. Like,
Thank you.
It used to take us like a combined 2 to 3 hours to export each video, and it was to the point where Warren couldn't play back the episodes in the editor, so we couldn't make like specific cuts all that well.
A lot of the cuts were like guesswork or based on the waveform. It worked out. I figured out how to do it. It's just,
we haven't decided, but the episode you're listening to might be a one-parter on YouTube, because now we can do that.
That's true, we can do that.
So if this is a one-parter, that's purely the reason why, because we were having the issue where like Warren would try to export for 3 hours and then it would just die, so we'd have to start over and over again. There was many, like I would say, not countless, but maybe like 5 or 6 nights since we started the pod where he and I basically stayed up all night, like texting like, "Oh, what do you think's wrong with it?" And then he'd be like, "It broke again," and it's like 5 a.m, and we're like, "Oh crap!" Right? Yeah. Like,
it happened like I don't know, like 6 or 7 times, not too much, but when they do happen now, sometimes I was up until like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But they're not going to happen anymore, so probably, hopefully.
That's super exciting. I'm excited for 2021 with our regular episodes. We're changing the format a bit, but just know it's so that we can maximize our efficiency and give you the best possible podcast. Overall, though, if you want to start suggesting topics for us to cover in State of the Nation, just like a really broad topic, not a specific point, just say like, talk about Christmas. Talk about how you guys knew each other or met each other, right? Those type of things. Feel free to do that.
Yeah, not constrained to K-pop too, yeah.
Yes, honestly. But if you do have a hot take for Harold, he is in the waiting. He is in the wings waiting, so that could also be a thing. I think I'm rambling now. Overall, I just hope that from the SojuTalk crew, I hope that everyone has a great holidays, whatever you celebrate. If you celebrate or don't celebrate, have a great end of December. Hopefully we could finish out 2020 strong and come to you better in 2021.
Yes.
This has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me throughout the entirety of 2020. Next week, you'll be getting the award show. With the following week, you'll be getting the summary/predictions. And the episode after that, we don't know what's going to happen. No promises there. But we'll see you guys next year in 2021, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Jenai, Goku Mama, Jacob, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, NJ Parks, OP, Chris, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods, Jacob, K-Music Erday, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.